Solve the equation 5 to the power of x plus 5 times 5 to the power of negative x equals 6 for x. Now, because of this negative power here, we can rewrite this as a positive index by putting it into the denominator. So that means that our equation can be written as 5 to the power of x plus 5 times 5 to the negative x can be written as 5 divided by 5 to the power of x is equal to 6. Now, as you can see, we've got a variable in the denominator. What we want to do is do something so that that is all on the one line of the equation. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by 5 to the power of x. So 5 to the power of x times 5 to the power of x is 5 to the power of 2x. And then we have 5 divided by 5 to the power of x. And when you multiply that by 5 to the power of x, we will just be left with plus 5 is equal to 6 times 5 to the power of x. If we inspect the equation, we can see that we've got 5 to the power of 2x here and 5 to the power of x on the right-hand side. And that indicates that it might be some sort of hidden quadratic within our exponential equation. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 6 times 5 to the power of x from both sides. So we can write this as 5 to the power of 2x minus 6 times 5 to the power of x plus 5 is equal to 0. To help simplify this a bit for us, we can just let a equal 5 to the power of x. Therefore, this equation becomes a squared minus 6a plus 5 equals 0. And now we're solving a quadratic. So to solve a quadratic, we start by factorising it. And that's still going to equal 0. And for this, we're going to have a minus 5 and a minus 1 as the two linear factors. So using the null factor law, we can say that a could equal 5, because a minus 5 could equal 0, or a minus 1 could equal 0, therefore a equals 1. However, we know that a is simply 5 to the power of x, so we can substitute that back in, and we find that 5 to the power of x is equal to 5, or we have 5 to the power of x is equal to 1. 5 is just 5 to the power of 1, so equating the indexes gives x equals 1 as one of the solutions. And 5 to the power of x equals 1, we know that anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1, therefore x is equal to 0. So for this equation we have x equals 1 and x equals 0 as the two solutions to the equation. For this equation we'll also look at how we can solve it using a CAS calculator. So on the CAS calculator, go into the main menu. So now what we have to do is write in the equation that we wish to solve. So we have 5 to the power of x plus 5 times 5 to the power of negative x is equal to 6. So that's the equation that we started with. And now if we highlight that and go interactive, equation inequality solve for x, we find the solutions x equals 0 and x equals 1, which we found by hand previously.